behind this manipulation of human society, they know that. And they have been playing humans like a violin for so long. And this is why, not the only reason, but this is why they created human religions in this part of why, because there were many whys for that, and why they created human science, which is, I call it Stone Age science. It's song sheet science. It's not science. It's just a bogus explanation for reality, so we don't see the real one. This is why the nature of reality is hardly, if any time, discussed in schools or education in general. And you know, I travel around the world. I've been in 50-odd countries, many of them many times. I've seen the streams of television channels, not least places like America. You're going through the zapper button, and there's channels after channels after channels. I have never seen one that was asking the question with an open mind: who are we? Where are we? What is reality? Now that is ludicrous. I mean, we have a situation where probably the vast majority of people go through a lifetime, until they come to the end of their lives and they're thinking, you know, where do you go? Who don't even think about, who am I? You know, you say to them, who are you? Oh, I'm Charlie Jones. I drive a bus. And they'll tell you your family history, they'll tell you their life history and all that stuff. That's not them, that's their experience. And human self-identity identifies who we are, self, with our experience, with our name, with our job. Who are you? I'm a banker. No, that's your experience, it's not who you are. And so, when you lose touch with who you are, and you lose connection to the true self beyond the program, then what's left is for the program to run and dominate our sense of reality. Our sense of reality becomes our point of observation by which we judge everything, and the emotional reaction from which our judgment and response to events comes. And it's a closed, ever repeating cycle. And unless we break it, then this will go on. And we break it by moving our point of attention, the point at which we interact with the world, from there to here. And you know, I had some amazing experiences in Peru in 1991. Amazing experiences which changed my life and all the rest of it. And I went back to Peru with a group of people from all over the world in April 2012. And we went around Peru, and we went to Machu Picchu and this place where I had my amazing paranormal, what extraordinary experience in 1991 called Siyustani, near a place called Puno, and Lake Titicaca, the highest known Bucca lake in the world. And this group, all of us, were going around these places, and what these places were heart places. Mm-hmm. When you went there, you interacted with them from here. And the behavior of the group and the demeanor of the group was laughter and joy and happiness. Then there was one day, and this really, you know, I've been aware of all this for a long time, but you know what it's like. Sometimes you have an experience and it goes bang in your face. And there was one day towards the end of the trip where we went to a place called Kiwanaku, just over the border in Bolivia. It's an ancient site, very famous ancient site if you look at the history and accounts of South America. And if anyone thinks that human awareness, human emotion, human demeanor does not impact upon the energy field that we're all interacting with. They should cross the border between Peru and Bolivia at this place where we did. You walked across a bridge across a river, and one side was Peru and the other side was Bolivia. So once you crossed into Bolivia, whoa, doom,
You're
right?
back.
So it took ages to get through the border guards, just for a tourist group who's going to be in the country for about 3 hours. They'd all just come back from a hospital, apparently, where they'd had a sense of humour bypass. And we headed to this Kiwanaku, going through in a 40-minute drive through a police checkpoint and a military checkpoint. You know, I mean, if anyone says that he's predicting that Bolivia is going to be a police state, well, you're too late, mate. Anyway, we get there. And it was horrible, Kiwanaku. It was big time here, right? And I felt this in many places around the world, and they've all been connected to human sacrifice and rituals involving these entities operating in other levels of reality, but interacting with this one. This is what satanic rituals are. They're the interaction. This is why they do certain things and repeat them. They're creating an energetic environment which allows interaction and even the manifestation of these entities within the rituals. This is what sacrificing to the gods was all about in the ancient world. Because when you sacrifice someone, the people doing the sacrifice, they drink the blood and eat the flesh, which is what this whole Roman Catholic thing is really about. Drinking the blood of Jesus and eating the flesh, that's just a mild bloody cover for what goes on in the background. But on the other levels of reality, while this is going on, these entities, perceived as the gods, are feeding off the terror of the victim. Right? This is sacrifice to the gods. Anyway, we get to Kiwanaku, and it was that kind of energy. Ooh. But what I noticed was the demeanour of the group changed. People weren't happy. They were not in a good space. And there was this lovely guy, Mark, a lovely Irish guy. And the change in the behaviour of the group was so pronounced that on the way back, which we got back into Peru, where everyone started getting a bit happy again, I asked people if they wanted to go on the microphone on the bus and explain, their experience. And Mark said, and Mark was a lovely, lovely guy, all laughing and dancing and all the rest of it, all the way through Peru. And he said, when I was at Kiwanaku, he said, I just wanted to shout abuse at anyone that got in my way when I was trying to take a picture. And I just felt so different. And I won't labour the point, but having, seen it and experienced it and seeing the response, you could see Peru, what a world that would be. And then Kiwanaku, the world that we have today. And we really got to move to here. And I would say to people, it's a challenge in this world, because virtually everything in this world is designed to push you here. So when you're responding from a belly emotional point of view, and you can do it with your mind, with your consciousness, you just move. It's moving your point of attention. That's what it is. You move your point of attention, and you move it here, and feel that point of attention here, not here, and you'll see the situation you face. I know, because I've done it myself, and I've talked to others about doing it, and they have, and they say, yes, it does work. You get to bring it to here. A situation that you're facing looks very different here to here, and vice versa. This is what we need to do. We need to become the heart-centered society that we are being hijacked and manipulated out of. Now, it's not just about moving your point of attention here and seeing the situation from here. Once you move your point of attention here, the vortex opens. Because now you're interacting with it with your own awareness, instead of interacting in a way that's dominated by this emotion. And when that opens, what comes through that energetic channel is innate intelligence, innate insight, innate knowing. And suddenly you're seeing the world and getting insights into things, and you're seeing what is happening as it is, and not as this is programmed to see it, and this is programmed to see it. You see, the brain, isolated from the heart, works in unison with the emotional chakra, and these two in unison, crikey, they're a bloody nightmare. Look at everything about human society that you don't like. These two buggers working in unison are where it comes from.
So
This.
we go there.
See, this, I'm talking about these emotional and perception programs that I say are running through junk DNA. Once the heart is no longer impacting in any way significantly on our sense of perception, on our sense of reality and all the rest of it, our sense of response, then the brain becomes the governor of our what? Perception, which is dictated to the brain once this is out of the way, which can override those bloody programs running through junk DNA. Piece of cake. You know, this is where the power is. This is what they're terrified of. So once that's closed down, this is what's done by the program and the way society is structured, then this becomes the governor of perception. And what it is doing, it is decoding as a sense of perception the perception programs running through junk DNA. And that perception of something becomes an emotional response to something, and this is an emotional response from the programs running through junk DNA of the emotional programs. So here's your if you like, your holographic manifestation of the perception programs of self and the world and reality running through, and here is your holographic expression in response and reaction of the emotional programs running through junk DNA.